start the recording. Okay. So as you already have like 2.8 years of experience in manual testing, right? You might be aware of the SDLC life cycle and other, and now you want to move your career towards the test automation. And in test automation, basically, let me share my screen first. Hope my screen is visual.
Yes.
Okay. So in test automation, we have few tools like that is very much popular. One is like Selenium, that is an open source. When I say something as an open source means if you want to use that particular tool, you are not supposed to pay any amount from your pocket. So that's a totally freely available in the like internet. You can just download it and you can just use it. So that is the open source, and Selenium is one of the biggest contributor in the open source market. And then we have like APM for mobile automation, and TestNG is the for the unit testing, and Cucumber is for the BDD, behavior driven development. So these are might be behavior driven development, and these things are new to you, but when you come to this automation domain, right? So you will get to know that why there is a shift in the like automation strategy. People how used to do before, now how they want to proceed. Okay, so these are the few things we have just before starting the automation, and then this particular slide is for my introduction. So let me start from that itself. So I have total 8+ years of experience and majorly working into like full stack tester and automation domain itself. And all my exposure, including like Selenium, APM, WebDriver, IO, and then Playwright, Cypress. Okay. So I have explored many tools and technology and doing POC. When I say something, POC means proof of concept. So if there is a tool and you want to check the capability of your application, that your application is capable that much to handle through that particular tool which you want to use for the automation. So those kind of feasibility test is called as a POC. So this I used to do the POC on multiple tools and technology. So if you explore multiple tools, then you have some T-shape knowledge. And when I say T-shape knowledge, means you are expert in one domain and you have 40 to 60% knowledge in other domain. So being as a versatile resources, you need to adapt all those things, and then only you can like survive in this IT industry with the AI, what is the big buzz currently we are having dealing with. And like teaching and coaching, like I'm doing from last 4 years, like just before the COVID era. Just a minute. Okay. And then like I have designed like few courses on Selenium, APM, Playwright, and then Cypress as well. And this demo session you have joined for probably for the Playwright. And then if you enroll for the courses, you will get like your recording, your notes, your how to solve a problem, how to deal with the JavaScript. So all those things you will know. And yeah, that's it. And we'll start from the why there is a need of test automation. Okay, because as you are from the functional testing domain, you might be in search, right? Okay, why there is a need of automation testing. So could you please tell if you know something, Komal?
Uh, Actually, manual testing is tough for human. It's not doing each and every part testing. But in automation, we can use the tool. or we will easily test each and every functionality.
I think this is
That's
not the
why.
correct. Yeah, I think this is not the correct explanation. Automation, why people used to do just to get rid of the repetitive task. So suppose you are doing a same task again and again over a day, like 100 test cases you have to execute for the login. So being as a human being, you will also feel bored, and due to the boredness, you will do some mistake. Okay. So that is the one reason. And when it comes to deal with the automation, means suppose you have this particular system where you are working on, and if you are running your automation test cases or executing your manual test cases, your system is busy, means you can't even do multitasking, you have to do only manual testing. But if you have a automation suite in your local, you can run it on server, you can run it in your local in a background mode, and even you can do the manual testing. So there are multiple ways to get benefited from this automation, and not only only to deal with the complex scenario. Like you can handle the complex scenario through the manual and functional, because but that is not the only need. And when you consider as like organization perspective, ROI, that is return of investment, is much more associated with the test automation. Suppose you have 500 test cases and you went through a release recently, and just to validate the release you need to validate 20 test cases every time. Each release you have to validate 20 test cases out of 500, then only you can accept the build. That is called the smoke testing. Okay, so once you do the smoke testing, always you have to deal with the 20 test cases. So if you have automated all those 20 test cases, anybody can trigger those jobs from the Jenkins or the Azure DevOps from anywhere, and they can validate how many test cases out of 20 pass. If all the test cases pass, you can accept the build, you can proceed with the deployment process, and that's it. So that's why there is a need of automation. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever we discuss, those things only available in the next slide. That is called efficiency. If that I have discussed with the giving the example of boring as a like repetitive task, right? So there the efficiency came into the picture, and then accuracy, right? If you design some automation steps, then it will execute that steps only. It will not deviate the steps. So that is called the accuracy. Because if you fit some instruction to the robot, and then robot will do the same instruction again and again unless until you change the instruction. So your automation suite is just like a robot. Whatever instruction you will do, give, it will perform the same task again and again. Then reproducibility means just do the same thing again and again. That is called reproducibility. Okay. If you have the reports available, if you have the failures happen, right, you can just run the automation suite and observe the failure. Scalability, as I told, you have a dependency on your local computer or desktop. If you can scale the automation features, right, that you can run them on a server, on a like a local, with the back hidden back headless mode. So there are many ways, right? You have a configuration dependency, platform dependency. So each time you are not supposed to do the local setup in your local. Means once you design your framework, you share with your colleague, they will just have to take a git clone in their local and run the automation. So that's why this automation scripts help. Otherwise, might be if you are joining a new team, you are not aware what are the system environments you need to set, what are the test environment, what is the dev environment. For each thing you need to get in touch with your seniors resources, but they don't have that much time, so they develop this automation suite, and they just ask you to clone the repository and run the test cases from your local. Okay, so that is called the
Okay.
scalability.
Okay.
And then it comes to test coverage. As you started as we started our conversation, that we can include go with the complex scenario, right? So that comes under the test coverage. Regression testing, just to if you have the regression suits available which you want to execute again and again, so that comes under that. Then cost saving, as I told you, that if you do the repetitive tasks again and again and you don't have reliability on any resources, so once you develop, you have to just only take care of the maintenance work. And if suppose like 4 resources has developed the automation suite, then 1 resources can maintain and 1 resources can run. So for there is no need of extra 3 resources that is needed for only for the development time. So by doing that, you can save the cost of your company as well. And then continuous integration and development, which I told with giving the example of Jenkins and Azure DevOps or like AWS server. Okay, so these are the benefits of the automation, and that's why there is a need of automation. Now coming to the actual topic, why we need to learn the Playwright. As I told you, there are because like first and foremost thing that the Playwright is also a open source and it is a freely available. Okay, just like a Selenium. And so if you want to learn anything in automation, people will suggest you learn Selenium first. Okay, because if you know Selenium, means you can learn any tools. But nowadays that is not the true things, because Selenium people used to work with most of the cases Java, but it is supported for other language like C Sharp, Python, JavaScript, right? But as there are larger community and all the resources are available in the market with the Java, most of the people are versatile and they use with the Java language only. But uh, there are some restrictions, there are some challenges we have. So like 3 years back, almost like just around the COVID era, Playwright came into the picture, and then this is the developed by the same developer who has developed the Puppeteer for the Google Chrome, and now they have been purchased by the Microsoft. So if somebody asks you who is the owner of Playwright, so Microsoft is the owner of Playwright, and it supports the Chrome browser, Safari browser, Firefox browser, even in headed mode or headless mode. When I say headed modes, means you can see your execution. When I say headless mode, you can't see your execution, but in background, your execution will be in running mode. Then the OS supported like my Mac OS, Linux, and Windows, and even you can use the CI circles like anything Jenkins, Azure, anything. And then like language supported JavaScript, TypeScript, Java, Python, C Sharp. So we have the different languages supports also available for this language. So that's why that is the also one reason that people who are coming from the different language, they are exploring this Playwright and trying to integrate with the existing project. Clear?
Yeah.
And then like features, what are the features of the Playwright? So as I told you, it's a free and open source, multi-browser and multi-language support, easy to set up and configuration, auto bait feature is there, built-in assertion, we have multiple multi-tab and window. These features are not available with the competitor. There is another tool I mentioned in the beginning, that is Cypress. So in Cypress, these features are not available. Frame and shadow bit DOM you can handle, test parameter you can do, emulate mobile devices. When I say emulate mobile devices, means mobile view, means if you have the if you are using any browser, there you have a mobile view or desktop view, right? So if you choose any phone, and there if you want to run your web browser, that you can do with the Playwright. Faster with the other tools, like as I mentioned, this Playwright is faster than Selenium and Cypress in the terms of execution. And then it supports the API testing and accessibility testing as well. It has built-in reporters and custom reports, and it supports the parallel testing. So for doing all those things like API testing, reporting, custom reports, if you are using Selenium before or not, Then in Selenium, it has a dependency on other third-party tool. For reporting, you have a dependency on Allure and Extend Report. For like API testing, you have a dependency on REST Assured. So REST Assured is a different tool which supports the REST API testing. Okay, so you can integrate your REST Assured framework with the Selenium, so that's not a problem. Now coming to the like comparison between the Playwright and Cypress. So more comfortable transition from Selenium. If somebody is already using Selenium, they can easily adapt Playwright. Then faster, free parallel execution, better with iframe, built-in assertion. These are the features. So if somebody asks you that why you are using Playwright, so if you mention all this 5 or 6 benefits, then that will be more than enough. When it comes to the Cypress, we are writing very less code, better auto bait mechanism, documentation is clear, better test runner, dashboard services we have, but those services are paid services. It's not a free services. Okay, so we have some features available with Playwright. We have some features available with Cypress, but there are some cost associated with Cypress, but people don't want to give their money for any of the features. Okay, now coming to the design pattern, like if we are working on the framework development and other things, what are the popular design pattern? So we have page object model where we are segregating our test cases on the page basis. We have page factory, we have singleton class design pattern. Then we have factory design pattern, data driven. When I say data driven, that means you are taking the data from any of the sheet, Excel sheet, JSON file, and according to the direction mentioned in the sheet, you are executing your test cases. We have your driven development. This I mentioned in the beginning of the session, that BDD is a behavior design pattern, and mostly when your stakeholders or the product owner are more interested into the testing, like what are you doing, how you are doing, right? So when there is some technical things associated in that terms, people nowadays are using BDD. So BDD is mostly coming with the Cucumber, JBehave, or Serenity. So these are the some different tools we have, and even you can integrate these things with the Playwright. So Playwright also supports Mocha framework by default. So if you have some features you want to integrate, you can integrate with the Playwright as well. Now, so these are the few things like if you are learning or starting your career towards the automation, you should learn, so that will be beneficial. And a scope for work, right? If you have like if you learn something like in this session, then you can go with the feasibility study, ROI, evaluate and select the tool, identify automation framework, right? So these are the a step by step process. Once you complete identify automation framework, right, then you can proceed with the scope for automation. Then you can do the POC, which I mentioned beginning. Then you develop the framework, write your test cases, and then maintenance. So till this phase, till writing and reviewing the script, you need your resources. And once the development is completed, you can transfer the code to the maintenance team and who can handle these things going forward. So we have these things. If you have any doubts in between, you can ask. Then we can proceed with the demo session. Do you have? Yeah.
Playwright is a what is Playwright? Means it is a tool or what?
So Playwright is a tool. Let me give you example. So it's a mention in the very first line itself. 1 minute. You able to see my Edge browser? If not, then I will share again.
No, it's not.
All right. 1 minute. I think now you will able to see. You can see.
Yeah.
So this is the Playwright website, official website. Okay. So playwright.dev. If you redirect to this particular website, right, then you can redirect to this official website, and here you can learn everything. So as just to answer your question, see, in first line itself, Playwright enables reliable end-to-end testing for modern web application. So what is Playwright? So Playwright is a tool which enables and reliable end-to-end testing for modern web application. When I say modern web application, that means these web applications like which you can run on Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and Safari, any browser. So whatever I have just covered, right? So everything is mentioned here. Like any browser you can run, resilient, no flaky test, no trade-off, no limit, right? Full isolation, fast execution, powerful tooling, code gen, right? Code gen is a feature like where you can generate your, you run your test cases, record when you are learning, and the same recording you can use for rerunning. Then Playwright inspector you have just to inspect the element, because in automation industry, if you are not inspect, you know how to write a XPath CSS selector, you will not able to interact with the tools. So while going through the this course, we have a separate 3 to 4 session available for the writing the XPath and CSS selector for the Playwright. And then we have trace view. What is trace view available? So trace view is nothing but when you can, if you run your test cases and then you visualize uh, suppose your test cases run 5 minutes and you want to see what happens at 3.30 seconds. Okay, so you can go through the traceability. There is a feature called traceability, and you can observe where your cursor and point was there at 3.30 seconds. So when we do live execution and all those things, at that time we will see all those features. Okay, so these are the things. If you have more thing, right, you can select here node, and then you can start with this documentation, how to install, how to do everything. It is mentioned one by one, right? Writing your first test
Okay, got
cases.
it.
Yeah, right. So this is a very detailed website and documentation they have.
Okay, got it. Proceed.
Yeah. And then probably let me open one of the. So this is one of the demo like project we have. Under that we have few test cases, right? In the, see, my first test cases is that I am redirecting to the google.com, and I'm just validating that google.com has the title Google or not. Okay, I want to run this test cases. Okay, then what I will do here, like in my terminal, I will just type test. If I just do this, whatever the, so whatever it will execute, right? So suppose, see, you can see running 27 test cases using 3 workers, right? So I have total 27 test cases, and that is executing with the help of 3 Chrome browser. So when it say 3 workers, means your 3 parallel test case is running at a single time. Okay, so how it is picking all these 27 test cases? So you have this playwright.config.js. Here you have mentioned the folder from where it will pick the test cases. So Currently, as of now, I have commented this directory, test directory. So this is your test directory. Under that test directory, whatever the file is mentioned, it will execute and run each test cases. So aspect.js will be your test cases, config.js will be your configuration file, and package.json, this will help you to like customize your test cases and whatever the version of the any tools, whatever the tools you are using, right? So currently Playwright version 1.40 I am using, Node version I am using 20.10.0. So this Playwright is basically developed on the basis of Node, and Node is a backend programming language. And if you want to learn this Playwright by by default, so you have to go with JS and TypeScript. Why JavaScript and TypeScript? Because nowadays all the modern application is getting developed with the help of JavaScript. Because nowadays if you start learning Java, right, then there will be no use, because Java users are nowadays, Java application development is very less. And if you use JavaScript or TypeScript, your developer will also use the same language. You can also contribute them while writing the unit test cases. Even you can help them writing the unit test cases, API test cases, and the web development. So you will be considered not only the tester, you will be considered as a more often and developer as well, who can help the development team for uh, uh, like uh, minimizing their work. Okay, so your value will get increased inside your organization, and you will feel also like technically sounds like, okay, you know something, and that's why everybody is appreciating you. So nowadays this JavaScript and TypeScript is much more needed if you want to excel your career in automation domain. And that will not be difficult because everything is predefined and generated. So now see, 27 test cases we have run, and these 27 test cases you can see have passed. Now I want to open this report. So here it is already giving you, when somebody is using first time, then they are giving this suggestion, npx playwright show report. So if you type this, okay, I'm not able to copy this to 1 minute. Let me type this.
What is NPX?
So npx is like a command that is coming from the node. If you using this node, right? Just I mentioned this node, right? So node, we have there are many version of nodes, like npm. You have node manager, like node package manager. Then through npm only we have this npx. So npx is for the your playwright. So when you have supposed to use anything from the playwright side, right? So you can use this node module. 1 minute, let me give you that example as well. Here, like if you install no Playwright, right? So by default, this node module will come with you. And here all the packages are available inside the node modules. So see, Playwright is also available. Playwright core is available. Inside bin, you have multiple packages available. So this node module will be your background, like your backbone. On top of that, you are running your Playwright test cases. So npx will be means node package executor. You have this. So this npx is refers to that. And then if you are using npm, that refers to the node package module. So when I say npm, let me open this npm. So npm npm. See, when you type npm, it will say JavaScript package manager, node package manager. npm is a, like registry company. So this is the npm official website. And if you want to download any package, anything, everything mentioned here. So that is just to take care of your packages, which package you want to refer. So if I am writing npm in the beginning, then means I want to refer that particular package from my local. npx will also do the same thing, but this is just for your testing perspective. Now I'm just going to the reporting. which we have just executed 1 minute. So this is our report. We have run 27 test cases. Each test cases, right? You can see pass, fail. So all 27 is pass. You can see, like, if you click here, right, it will showcase you what you have run. So it redirected to the playwright.dev website. It validated the